Okay, speaking of you continuing to kill these, because you must have been working like nonstop at that point, because you was on that rock the mic remix too,
I
and
was on
I
everything.
thought that you was on everything. But you know what was dope about what you was doing, because you definitely repped that Midwest all day. You sounded like where you was from. You didn't compromise at all, but you was getting love in the South. You was getting love on the West Coast. A Rock the Mic remix, that's East Coast all day right there. And you fit right into that joint.
Man. Yo, the first time I met Beanie Sigel, bro, '01 Country Grammar release. And Beanie was opening up. Now, I ain't gonna say like opening up, but it was other acts on it. It was like a radio show. So our release party ended up being like a radio show somehow. We ended up with the radio with the release thing, right? They brought other artists like Beanie Sigel, a few R&B artists, Maya. It was a few people, right? Boy, Beanie came in there immediately. He gave Nelly a 5, gave group 5, walked up to me and just started spitting my verse off of Steal the Show on Country Grammar. And that's just an album record. You feel what I'm talking about? I'm talking about front to back, spitting it. I was like, whoa, and that made me look at something too. I'm like, damn, I'm coming with bars. You know what I'm saying? To get any East Coast props, you know what I'm saying? At that time, it was like, oh, he heard me. Because we don't think you hear us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we might be one of the dopest, like, lyricist groups of all fucking times. What people don't know because they can't hear it because we heard our word. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you don't hear. You don't even know that we coming with, like, I'm bar for bar. A lot of Free City, Murphy's Law, all the remixes on that, I'm bar for bar. If you got 16 bars, you got 12 from me. I'm talking about lines, like real, that part, caring about that part, not just lead on to the next thing. I'm talking about a bar. All my club songs, clubs and Spanish, them bars. I try my best to mix bar with still trying to make you do this though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what we was good at. We was good at putting melody with bars. A lot of people can't do it. You either barred up or you a melodic and don't say nothing on your songs. And we tried to blend both. And I know that's me. Personally, I tried that so hard. Because I don't want to lose the melodic because you lose the girls. You feel what I'm saying? But if you got the bars, you can get the fellas too. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to mix both. And that's what you hearing now. Like, people, it's real, the game is real melodic right now, and that's why the ladies is feeling, even though I shot 20 people, sold 3,000 bricks, 400 things, and 16 bars, the lady still singing it. Like, why she still singing it? Because it's melodic. You know what I'm saying? She can't even help it. So now she sound like she ratchet, like she got the burner. You know what I'm saying? Like, and she ain't even on that. She really just came to the club, shake her titties, and literally got a hold a gun sign up like she Ja Morant. So,
you know, I never heard that story before about Beanie, you know.
Oh, yeah, that was crazy. That was my first time even saying that before, but Beanie, man, he changed my life on that day. That day made me say, oh, they hear me. And it made me, before Free City, now if you go back to Free City, it made me say, bar, metaphor, simile, stay in that range, least beginning, middle, end. When you first come off, come with it real quick, because they ain't gonna listen to you no more if you don't. Catch them somewhere in the middle. Make sure you end it correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had me thinking about my rhymes and stuff like that. So shout out to Beans, man. One of the dopest artists I've ever met in my life. He cold. I always been a fan of his. So when the Rock the Mic remix came upon, man, it was natural. I couldn't wait to get on them East Coast. Like, let me on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting on Jermaine to call me. I'm waiting on those things. I'm waiting on the Tailfeather. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait. I get to, I'm coming. Y'all better come. Because I'm doing this part of it. Like, I'm going to do that little part. That little part of making sure there's some memorable bars on that thing. I'm doing that part. So you got to come with it. So I love remixes. I was on all them joints. I'm on more than I even ever thought. But right now, to this day, 2023, it makes a good show for me. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And I appreciate everybody who reached out, you know what I'm saying? And decided to let me on, man.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you something. The East Coast, that's what we about. From day one, since the start of rap, we always been about bars, and it's something about Philly in particular. You know, whether it's a Cassidy, my boy Ines, any of the state property boys, but definitely Beans. Beans is a monster on that mic. So for him personally to come to you and spit your verse from top to finish, that was a compliment of a different level, because that boy, he's about his bars. So shout to Beans. You just mentioned Shake Your Tail Feather. What was it like working with your boy Diddy?
It was dope. Tailfeather was one of the last songs I did for the Murphy's Law album. And when I got the beat, I was on my way in the lab. So it probably wouldn't have came out as Tailfeather. So that's why I'm glad it happened how it happened, you know what I'm saying? But right when I got that beat, Coco, new producer, believe me, he was a rapper beforehand. He never produced a beat. He may have had like 6 on a CD before, but no more than that, you know what I'm saying? And he brought that thing. It was like the last days of recording my first solo album. And Diddy somehow called, got it to Nelly, and was like, I need a song for the soundtrack. I need you on here, Playboy. You know what I'm saying? It's Playboy, his word. And from there, me and Nelly just went into the room and just started coming up with the hook. And next thing you know, we went to the Diddy, I guess Diddy house or whatever that studio called, and
Daddy
recorded
house?
that thing. Yeah, it was good working with Diddy. You're not really working with Diddy for real, because Diddy don't write or nothing like that. He's literally. I wish I could have wrote his verse though. I didn't know. I don't know why. Back then, I didn't know. I didn't know about writing then. I didn't know that somebody was going to write his verse, because I would have offered it like, yo, let me write your verse, because I was ready. I always overbar it. So if I write 16, I always write 32, because I don't think that 16, my confidence of that 16 ain't it. So I might have a 32. I might choose one verse, or I might grab a couple bars out of that and replace them with the best bar, so I can have bar. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I used to work. I couldn't help it. I'm used to writing songs. I want to write the whole thing. All that, you know what I'm saying? Even part of Nelly verse, I'm like, yo, take this line, take this. I'm on that. Well, I just want it was part of my album. Like that's how I know it was for my album, because I literally was ready to write that whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But I wish I would have. But somebody wrote. I don't even know who it was. It might have been Red Cafe or somebody wrote. I don't know who in the credits. But yeah, he didn't do his verse then. Me and Nelly just did our verse then, and he was like, it was dope. And next he threw his verse on there and sent it back to us. I was like, yeah, we in here.